Where you at, my man? I look forward to the reclamation of the Hyperion web. Hopefully you shall facilitate that. Now, how might we be of use to one another? Yes! Excellent! Take that, reductionists! Your horrid little surveillance devices shall finally be used for what their purpose should have been! Don't tell anyone about that outburst, please. Here's something to keep you quiet. Yes, you've earned not only my trust, but the Order's as well. I hope you'll continue working with us in the future. I've informed the presiding bishop you're coming to speak with her. She can be found in the room off the main stairwell. I'm sure I don't need to say this, but if you even think about bringing harm to Ruth, I shall know. Be on your very, very best behavior.
Well, this is a welcome confluence of events. Why, without you, Gertie and I wouldn't be alive. And any hope of peace between the Order and Auntie's choice would be over. Dreadful, you know. Positively dreadful. How the peace talks were interrupted. I felt our two delegations were making real progress. Officially, not at present. Gertie and I have kept up communication through back channels in the hope that the discussions can be reconvened in due time. It is my earnest belief that this is the optimal course to chart for the Order, and for Arcadia. Though we could certainly use assistance from an outside force like yourself. Life-threatening situations have a way of verifying and validating key constants. Perhaps proof our two groups may still yet work together, if certain conditions were met. To begin, I believe you would need to put forth efforts in good faith with each of the two groups. Earning the trust of both sides is essential. You're already on your way in that respect. Once you've worked your way up to meeting our respective leaders, you must convince them to consider joining forces. Oh, really? Perhaps the challenge rating is far less than I've hitherto calculated. Well, obviously you'll likely have to act as an intermediary between Ruth and Auntie, which will require some verbal finesse. But let's worry about that step upon reaching it. Transplendent. Remember, seek out ways to help both sides, engender trust. Gertie and I can let you know when it's time to move forward. In the meantime, I might recommend you work on honing your oratory skills. Our presiding bishop and Auntie Cleo can be challenging to debate with.
The Order has always proclaimed patience as a virtue, but I am pleased my waiting is finally at its endpoint. For so long, you have only existed as numerical values on a chart. A bright star in a constellation of possibilities, as it were. Now with your arrival, the Order nears the totality of its goals, provided you are willing to stay aligned with our cause. Faith is trust without evidence. You deserve far more than that. Now then, I gather you already know who I am, but science has shown that good manners strengthen developing relationships by 5.3%. So, allow me to introduce myself. I am Ruth Basar, third presiding bishop of the Order of the Ascendant, supreme calculator, and, plan willing, the architect of Arcadia's prosperous future. I admit, when I sent my initial message, I did not exactly know who its recipient would be. But I trusted the plan, and lo and behold, it provided you as the solution. Your recent exploits at Greater Tranquility Station have certainly made for compelling reading material. Confronting an assassin, and thereby sparing the delegates' lives before the rift inexplicably destroyed the station? Such a commendable effort is worthy of acknowledgement. Sorry to disappoint. However, there's something of even greater import we must discuss. It's recently come to my attention that secret communications have been exchanged between Laplace's garden and the undisputed claim. Do you know anything about that? I agree. I once believed the risks of a negative outcome were acceptably low, justifying the pursuit of a peaceful resolution. But Greater Tranquility altered those numbers. I will speak with Levin and tell him to cease all transmissions with the undisputed claim immediately. The Order does not require a corporation's help to win this war. But now, let us move on from this discussion. The archive remains at the forefront of my mind, as it must be on yours, or else you would not be here. Walk me through your plan, then. Once the data is processed, what then? And so it may, but perhaps we are putting the solution before the problem. Until the Order has control over the archive again, this discussion is all but moot. Charmingly put. But yes, I do. Any way I interpret the numbers, it is obvious the plan brought you here to deliver the archive out of Protectorate subjugation and back into Order hands. But before we go further, you should be aware, by aligning yourself with us in this matter, Auntie's Choice will almost assuredly see you as a threat to their interests.
That's putting it mildly. They don't take kindly to folk reneging on a deal, even if said deal ain't been officially struck. But if this is the path you want to go down, I'll be there with you.
This trooper shows unexpected sagacity for one of her organization. The rest of Auntie's Choice will not be so amenable. Are you prepared to accept these consequences? It will be a mutually beneficial arrangement, I can assure you. Let us now discuss the particulars of what will be required to reclaim the archive. Fortunately, I have given this some thought, and already have a strategy in place. First, we must reclaim Spyreton from the enemy. Spyreton once served as the Order's headquarters, due to its proximity to the Archive. Its loss was an affront, and remains so. More importantly, there is a lift located in Spyreton which can deliver our troops into the Archive to assist you against the Protectorate. Unlocking and calling that lift can only be done from within the Archive, however. So you will need to infiltrate the Archive by alternate means, via a bridge connected to Newton. Fortunately, I am told you already dealt with the cultists there. Unfortunately, you will still need to find a way past a small rift currently blocking the bridge. Ordinarily, I do not fancy surprises, but you are proving an exception to that rule. With such a device in hand, bypassing the rift should be as rudimentary as pie. And perhaps at some later date, you will also permit our scientists to analyze this gadget at length in one of our labs, provided all goes according to plan. There is a computronical key that you will also need to locate within the archive called the Calcaduceus. The Calcaduceus grants special access to the archive. Once it is back in Order hands, we will have full control over its systems once more. By your lack of questions, I assume you feel confident about your chances. But it occurs to me that a more indirect approach might also be suitable for retaking Spyreton. Take this access card. It opens a discreet side entrance on the western side of Spyreton, just past a collapsed portion of the outer wall. Once inside, it may be possible to divert power from the Protectorate's turrets via a nearby terminal. The same card should grant you access to the building housing the terminal. May you achieve progress in accordance with the plan.
Start deviating from the baseline.
Ah, precisely. I was informed to expect you here and now by presiding Bishop Basar herself. Thus, it is so, as predicted. It is time, yes, that we commit our forces to your intended assault on Spyreton? The predicted hour/minute/second has arrived. Onward to Spyreton.
Anomalous outliers! Position! State your business.
I understand this spot has strategic significance for the defense of the archive, but it is horrifyingly banal. I mean, I've been stationed in some backwater burgs in the past. Seriously? Did these Order eggheads do anything for fun around here? It's all math charts and chalkboards, and how many abakai does one outpost need? Hope they never retake this place, because I'm throwing all of it away.
You there, another Indian.
Sealed. Protectorate's work, no doubt. Isn't there supposed to be a way to unseal this near the archive's entrance?
How to get this up and running. Otherwise, we'll be taking the archive without reinforcements. And that wouldn't be my preference.
System, serve the sucker. Huh? Better take a get some perfect dice!
Cardson's ours.
We see you didn't even require us. Our arrival was scheduled for the optimum moment. Apparently we're
Spyerton has changed hands several times now. But our data suggests this should be the last.
Ignore that. I promise you this is merely tomfoolery. There's no way we would... You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted preserve set prop Grey gone astray. Today, are you mentally refreshed? Stop feeling distracted? Daydreaming on the job? You are the...
Prudence dictates.
Our enemies and...
Prudence dictates. We reject individual...
Preserve set upgrade on us.
Remember, the console. Prudence dictates. We want all to subject. Prudence dictates.
You are the...
Prudence dictates. We cherish all we...
Our enemies and...
Prudence dictates.
Preserve set upgrade on us.
Remember, all subjects prosper under the console. Prudence dictates.
Fellow stop feeling distracted.
Prudence dictates. We repel in the...
You are the...
Prudence dictates. Prudence dictates.
Preserve set progress. Sustain the system. Grey gone astray.
The console. Prudence dictates.
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate skill for their assignment?
Prudence dictates. Prudence dictates.
Our enemies envy our prosperity, displaying our sense of community.
Prudence dictates.
Grey gone astray.
Remember, the console. The system abides.
From the
Prudence dictates. Prudence dictates.
Preserve set prop. Grey gone astray. Look a stage
This area's been picked over, and I bet whoever's responsible has our missing part. This wire may lead us to our scavenger, if they're still around.
not sure how you managed to approach unnoticed. Could be I'd grown so attuned to my surroundings, I became one with the wood and fire and the earth. Were you left behind by your unit too? Are you in need of some hard-fought knowledge about how to fend for yourself? Must say, I've become quite the expert. Why, after only just 2 weeks on my own, I ascertained how to pry open a rations tin unaided. Did you know there's a little opener key attached? It's all going in my manuscript. So glad you asked. I've recently evolved into a rugged, self-sufficient individual, fully accustomed to life in these caves, living raw and pure like our primitive, lice-ridden ancestors. Why, just the other day, I reinvented fire. I found a little doohickey I've named a light starter. You simply push a button, and flame comes out. Yes, indeed. I know this cave and several of the adjoining hallways, like, well, someone who'd scoured every inch for the barest sustenance. Why, you'd probably need the necessary innards to its control board, which I happen to have in my possession, having rather forcefully obtained. I might be convinced to part with them for a small favor. Some key legwork for a mighty hunter. Me, I'm fixing to take down one of the local ursopods. A few sprat corpses would be helpful as bait. Gather some, and we'll make a trade. Finally, give it here.
Well, I'm never gonna look at a sprat the same way again.
Sorry you had to see that. The parcels of victuals my neighbor sends over the tube have fallen off recently. Barely eaten for days. Sent me over a bunch of recordings, along with victuals. Offered some sound, if harshly put, advice. Looked out for me like no one's ever. Never even seen him face to face. I do so hope he's all right. Anyhow, suppose we had a deal. Here, I wrenched these parts free out of the Spyreton lift controls. Just jam them back in there and kick it once or twice. Should work fine. Drop back in again sometime, will you? Occasionally, I do get a little starved. For, company.
possession of the lift and are ready to lend assistance to you, Agent. Awaiting the all clear. Executing primary operation. Now!
Border troops incoming. Think they know how to turn their safeties off?
For the equation! Multiply forward by 10!
Assessing. Anticipating trouble.
About to verify my trepidation.
Talk about a feat of industrial engineering. The skill of Rome.
Calcaduceus,
Not
not
close,
detected.
Commander.
Entry
Wouldn't
kindly,
want you wandering
yet
off and
firmly
getting lost.
declined.
What was in those rations? Oh, not again. Oh, will this gastric nightmare never cease? Oh. Just a moment. Forgive me. I found myself irregularly indisposed from one direction or the other.
Pardon us if we don't shake hands later.
Huh. So do I need assistance from someone with substandard, non-protectorate medical training? Thank you, but no. You're too kind. I am the Archive's current operator. As such, I am the bearer of the, Calcaduceus. I still have trouble saying that. Certainly. I recognize I am in no position to bargain, despite the fact it will no doubt earn me mental refreshment at best. If you have cleared our fortifications outside, I worry what has happened to our troops. I have little interest in sharing their fate. I would pass the Calcaduceus on to you, in exchange for granting me safe passage. The Archive would then recognize you as its operator. All right. I am providing you the Calcaduceus. Don't shoot! Here, you are now operator of the Archive. Congratulations. Be warned, you may find it a temperamental machine. Some maintenance may be required. Is there a protectorate curativist in the house? I feel rather woogly.
Caduceus detected. Alternative operator postulated. Concluded. Colonizer replacement. Greetings, sentient. Welcome to the Archive. I am ENIAC, the Universal Equation Numeric Integration Analytic Calculator. With the aid of my operator, I, a non-sentient inorganism, marshal vast computational resources across the moon of Cloister. Effectively, that is correct. My tone and demeanor are a carefully constructed complex emulation, a means to effectively convey information to sentient beings. My express programmatical purpose is to aid humanity's advancement to maximize the needs of our society to attract the most consumers.
A little percussive maintenance might not be out of place here. I've got a...
Beg your pardon. How may I best facilitate your efforts? Perusing contents. Anatomizing diversiform particulars. Concatenating manifold integrants. Cursory assessment complete. An impressive accumulation of rift data. Similar in composition, though decidedly not in scope, to that provided by the Protectorate.
Information with the potential to offer unique commercial opportunities to those who wield it.
But why simply huck goods better, when such a bounty could be used to flawlessly regulate societal harmony, oversight, and means of production? What is the aim of your query? The previous operator, Assessor Ostergaard of the Protectorate, pursued a like query 1 year, 6 days ago, though the amount you've provided is several orders of magnitude larger. To perform similar calculations of larger scale at current suboptimal levels of functionality would require
25.7 years, and any job over 2 decades is billed by the hour.
Facetious employment of sarcasm. A determinably lesser form of humor detected. Ignoring. Presuming converse meaning and intent. Calculatory processing presently hovers around 49.7% capacity due to internecine conflict, misuse, and a lack of technical prowess by recent operators and their associates. In order to improve calculatory processing of rift data in a timely manner, repairs must be made to address the damage done by Protectorate and Anti's Choice operators. I am afraid that no is a mathematical certitude. despite the Protectorate and Auntie's choice best efforts to prove otherwise.
Though must say, I admire your drive. Some issues require the conspicuous application of force, such as a fractional reduction in output or descent.
I am unlocking access to the Underlands, the subterranean cave network below. It houses two key external systems, cold storage and thermal transfer. Cold storage will require servicing before you may retrieve the punch cards needed for processing. Repairing thermal transfer is technically optional, but rather advised. If you fail to restore it, the Archive and I may melt down later while running your calculations.
Why is that optional? Our continued existence should be a paramount concern.
Inverting targeting protocols. There. Any Protectorate still on the ground level is now being fired upon. Permissions within other areas of the Archive are locked, however. It is difficult to accurately ascribe an exact causal breakdown between premeditated sabotage, collateral harm, technical ineptitude, and willful hijinks. Attempts by non-order operators to reprogram my priorities have also led to issues. When active, the Archive generates an enormous amount of heat. Normally, it is dispersed by pumping water between the vast ocean below Cloister's exterior and a surface reservoir. I can process the rift data without its repair, but irreparable damage is likely. Yet, with thermal transfer presently idle, a contingent of Crabbles have made the area a nursery. Drastic changes to heating levels may endanger it.
Who cares about a herd of pea-brained, ill-humored, oversized crustaceans? There are too many as it is.
Somehow I don't think the Order will approve of our letting the Archive fall deeper into disrepair. We ought to take action.
It is an archival area dedicated to safe upkeep of all data collected in pursuit of the universal equation by the Order of the Ascendant. The sum total of all our accumulated knowledge in punch card form, kept in a low temperature, low humidity environment to improve preservation. Return later to discuss the remaining subsystem work. And soon, everything will be running like clockwork.
Have a profitable day! In lieu of my transactional mindset, I'm unsealed one of the display cases in the central entranceway. The Seer Cerebellum Protector is now yours.
Bodies up ahead. Suggest we take a moment before running in and joining them?
Can you imagine what it must have taken to build something like the Archive? The engineering alone is unlike anything I've ever seen.
Process hostile.
I've learned in freeloaders. In our... Recommencing! Their location...
To retrieve key data in cold storage in its present state requires a series of manual overrides. The first will enable identification.
These ones didn't die of exposure. It was rapid onset, this freezing. You think the Protectorate got a weapon that can do this?
Data brick identified. Proceed to the cartridge extractor controls. There, perform a manual override to allow extraction.
What just happened? I didn't do... Wait! You out there! What did you just... Please, come talk to me. I must know what you did. What in the name of the matriarch did you do? We've been trying to restore these systems for weeks to no avail, and yet you stroll in here, wave that thing around, and the whole system lights up like a white dwarf? What did you do? You mean to say we've been running ourselves ragged here, while the whole time there's a device that controls the entirety of the Archive's computronic systems? And it was in the Protectorate's possession? That's damnably... I mean, the paradigm is infallible. I am certain we were meant to flail about without this obvious asset. For a reason. What does it do? How does it work? Please, tell me everything. Truly? Why, if that were to enact any additional functionality in our lab, it might just be the thing we need to complete our work. Wait, please. You clearly have an ability to manipulate the machinery here. Just give us a few minutes of your time to see if we can get things working. Oh, during the Order's assault, a Protectorate soldier ran to the control room and triggered the chemical fire suppression system, and it literally froze all the combatants in place. I've been working on a procedure to reverse the effects. Sadly, it has proved a hard shell to crack, and so far I've been unsuccessful. For a moment, I believed your efforts to be my first sign of progress. I thought the machines whirring to life meant my efforts were successful. Unfortunately, I was mistaken. Perhaps. How much do you know about cellular biology and the inverse hydrophilic transitionary replacement theory? suppose it won't hurt to try. My theory, based on research a compatriot did on sprats, is that they suffered osmotic cellular transformation, meaning that the chemicals from the fire suppression system have infiltrated their bodies, replacing their cytoplasm, locking their cells in place. Therefore, if I can remove those chemicals and replace them with an artificial cytoplasm, such as a heated alcohol, they will reanimate and return to normal. What do you think? Counter? No! Replace! What if I can replace the carbon and nitrogen with something inert? Something the body could then purge naturally? That's brilliant! Why, with a bit of luck, I could have the system up and working within the hour. Thank you for your help. It may be the best shot these poor souls have at returning to life. Let's start testing. Come in, just please. Be careful not to trigger the fire suppression system. I've removed the passkey, but I don't want to end up like those poor sods.
Sovereign, forgive me. All I saw was an endless sea of snarling order traders pouring into the facility, and in that moment, my faculties desperately scrabbled to save ourselves and might.
Something to be said about falling victim to the weapon you so callously wielded. Good riddance.
Sovereign, forgive.
I wonder if there's some way for the machines you've accessed to help me in my research. Please excuse me while I explore the various possibilities.
Got some bad coming.
Huh? Some.
Let me know when you needed a stretch.
Commander, you're bleeding.
to earn my...
Replenishing
Back in
my...
business. Would be a damn sight easier if we could just blast our way through this place.
Coming up on some foes.
Invasive elements! Malcontent, liquored up on artificial flavor.
Data brick extraction initiated. Proceed to the rail operations platform to reposition brick for export. Note, Protectorate troops have become alerted. Repugnant and spongers. Go through them if necessary.
Easy with the fratricide.
Deserves a look. Now what's... Protect Arcadia!
Data brick now in position for export to the archive. Initialize the final transport command at the data gateway station nearby.
You are one step closer to flooding Arcadia with untold business opportunities.
Yeah. Hey, don't we need to send the data brick back up to the archive?
for the machines you've accessed to help me in my research. Please excuse me while I explore the various possibilities.
Got my lamps on a hostile.
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just say when.
It's getting late. I'm probably about to shut it down. I don't know where to go, honestly.
Yeah.
Ain't finished yet.
days of laboring around our frozen fellows were difficult. It was, if I may cheekily say, cold, bleak, and biting. Yet, rather quickly, I found myself acclimating to the situation and resumed what had been my normal banter with the now gelid auto-contriver Haas. Given her always frigid demeanor, her disposition is no frostier today than it was before the incident. And, refreshingly, I can now finish my anecdotes without interruption.
Let's head over.
Frankly, her Hyperborean slumber makes her a better companion now than she ever was at.
What?
And I relish
Ready to wait! On your command!
Changing magazines efficiently and in short order.
Anyone else here, a medic?
How are you still upright over there?
Back in business. Armed and ready.
The storage brick is on its way.
wonder if there's some way for the machines you've accessed to help me in my research. Please excuse me while I explore the various possibilities.
I'm dozing off. Thank you for watching.